Well, it's took me about 2 hours, maybe longer. Now, a step further ahead would be I was able to get just the papers, whatever, to get through there. Now, you could add material to the back of this bell housing and have it milled to take the gap out from the bottom of that to the block, if that makes sense to you. And then I needed enough room in here so I could get to these torque converter bolts. That one little hole, it's not going to work. So I did this. I want to be able to get in there with my hand and a wrench and get some room to tighten these torque converter bolts up. Check the starter hole. It don't hit the bell housing. So we're good on that. Let's just kind of stick it up here. Yeah, that's where it's going to be. So it's a tight fit, but it's beautiful. Now, to get that out, boy, or get that clearanced, had to take the top of it down quite a bit. You can see there, it's a paper whatever, and I beveled it from the front to the back. It's on there. It's tight now. It's hitting that pipe a little bit. May have to take it down just a fuzz. I don't want to lose no material on that. I need all the material I can get to make sure that bolt's going to be tight. Pretty good. I'm going to eyeball it really, really, really good still. Make sure it's going to be enough. You can see daylight through there. It's the bare minimum now. I ain't trying to take it all the way off, but we got the bell housing off. We got the bell housing to where you can get in there and get to the torque converter bolts. I might grind on it a little bit more. Waiting on them bolts. We got them bolts to put that plate together to where it's solid, and that way when you put that up there, it's just put it in there, get the bell housing bolts in it, and then figure out where you're at with the motor mount bolts. As far as taking two and making one, they just got a piece of metal both ways, and it's just in there and it hangs off that mount. No, nothing serious. And the way this manifold comes up or down real tight on that frame rail, this one doesn't. Kind of comes out in the center to where you could actually work on it. I like that better. I'm going to cut it probably somewhere in here or something, or get it to where whatever. We'll have to figure out something, and then figure out some motor mount bolts. It's pretty much looks like the same way. May have to come forward, may have to go backwards on one way or the other, but that's the bell housing fitting. It comes off and on pretty easy. I might have to sand out the holes a little bit. Them dowels are tight. I'd say they did a real nice job. Now, to make all that work and stuff, we'll have to do some jerry rigging. But hey, that's a win. You get the bolts in it, and get it back together, and hook up exhaust, hook up computer and fuel lines, and the brakes are already hooked up. We're gonna leave them alone. Hook up a vacuum to that brake booster. We got brakes, we got it going. You get it to start, and we're good. Now, I took that dash pad off there because we're going to cut it out, and we still got to pull the dash. We got to do all that. So I might try to hook it up though with a battery and a gas jug to see if we can get the motor to start anyhow. We'll do that much anyhow. Once I get it started, you can just take that plug on that transmission. It's got like 3 wires, pretty simple. You hook all your grounds to that and hook a 10 amp 12 volt to it with the key on, and you can shift the transmission. If you can start the motor, hey, pretty sure to go. But on that transfer case, what I was talking about, gonna have to get something for it. I wish they I seen a guy off of 355 Nation. He just had a machine thing that would go around the O-ring and then had a tip sticking out to where he could manipulate it just back and forth. Pretty simple. He just bought an off-road shifter and made it to where it was like a short throw right in the floorboard. Bolted it up around the transmission, found some holes or whatever. He made it work. But to get one of those nice shifters, like it replaces the electric to whatever, Behemoth makes a kit just for that. It's a Bog Warner 4774 or something like that. Can't remember the numbers on it. I would just want just like something, you know, that kit. It just had the 3 bolts that came off there had a plate that went on it with that little thing, but they had a sprocket hooked up. It was fancy and nice, and you know, it milled and anodized and had a cable shifter that was, you know, an option of neutral in it. That was pretty nice. I'd probably like to have something like that. But if I have to go and talk to my buddy and get him just to make a little piece that would come off of there with something that you could stick a heim joint and a bolt through it and make a shifter, I can do that. I mean, that wouldn't be a big deal. I know he could probably do something like that. He made me a little old tiny piece that would go into a Camaro transmission so I could have a hydraulic clutch on a, it was a, I think it was a T55 or something like that transmission, but the bell housing was crooked. They'd been cranking on it. They put 3rd gear through the case, and it put the throw-out bearing through the bell housing. It was fixed, but I had it. Dude, I had a Mazda Protege 4-door with an S10 rear end. I had a small block out of a 79 pickup truck. That thing, when it would get traction, it would set up on the back bumper. It'd ride a wheelie. You couldn't keep the front end down. I took a dirt car front end. Sam gave me one. It was a rocket front end, and it had a sweet steering rack, and it needed the steering rack fixed and stuff. I probably should just cut it off and added a little weight to it and just took a S10 front whatever. I had spindles made for it. It had 5-lug Chevy bolt pattern all the way around it. Took the centers out of the wheels, cut them, had them milled on both sides, and had it to where it would stick up under, custom made wheels to where it'd stick up under the wheel well and it wouldn't be like awful looking like sticking way out. Dylan from up Moorhead here, he's like, man, I like that idea. That's what he did. He just took a S10 front end and put under it. I think he had a Mustang 2 front end on his. We put a small block in it and had it all together in about 2 weeks. That wasn't nothing. He had the hood off of it. He had a dirt car motor in it. You know, he had a beast of a motor. He's like, I don't know, I might take it around the track a couple times, man. What do you think? I was like, well, you know, you're ready to go, buddy. It had Mustang front wheels on it. Remember that. It needed like 5-lug Chevy bolt pattern all the way around. And I probably just would have used an S10 front clip, you know, and we used to build stuff like that. Just make a frame, put the rear end, put everything ready to go, just put it down on a body and put weld some plates in the floorboard, bolt it down. He had a roll cage in it and everything. Pretty slick.